Boom. Boom. Ha ha. How are you, traders? Good morning. Good morning, traders. Good afternoon to some of you. Maybe even close to good evening to some of you, depending upon where you are in the world. But welcome. Welcome to another master class with Oliver Velez. And just in case you have no idea who I am, my name is Oliver Velez, and we are going to talk trading today. I got a very, very special program for you today, guys. So come on in, make yourselves comfortable, grab the beverage of your choice. I've got some coffee. Hope you guys are doing well. You know, I have these special master classes, right? I have them several times a year. And I'm always very excited about it because these sessions give me an opportunity to, do a bit more of a deep dive on some of the trading tactics that serve as my bread and butter, as the bread and butter of many of my traders as well. And what I mean by that bread and butter are the very reliable, repeatable trading occurrences that happen over and over and over again. So I appreciate your participation. I appreciate you subscribing to the YouTube channel. I appreciate you taking in the content every single day. We spend a great deal of time, guys, making sure that every single day right here, you have something of value that moves you one step closer to your ultimate goal, which I hope is to become a master trader. But those videos give me a small window to try to share something with you. It's 8 minutes to 15 minutes tops. What these master classes do is give me a several hour window to do a deeper dive than I possibly can in a specific small video. And so, I always get very excited when we do these master classes because, I like to do the deep dives. So anyway, guys, before we get started, before we delve into the material today that I want to share with you, let me know where you're piping in from. Let me know where you're coming in from. What part of the world, what city, what country, what nook and cranny are you piping in from, guys? Let me know. Let me see. Just before we get started, I'm curious. We always tend to draw an international audience here. Portugal is in the house. Houston, Texas is in the house. I see it. Minnesota. All right. Miami. All right. I see. Lots from the States here. Germany. Toronto. Kenya. Chicago. Oh, here they come. Norway. Whoa, guys, you're too fast. All right. Norway. UAE. India. New Jersey. Australia. DC. Orlando. Colombia. Montreal. Mi hogar. Dallas. All right, guys. Panama. Whoo. Mumbai. Wow. From all over. This is crazy. London. Zimbabwe. Venezuela. Santo Domingo. South Africa. Wow. Medellin. Already missed my Medellin. All right, Bahamas, England, whoo, Brazil. All right, guys, welcome. Love you guys to death. Thank you once again, guys, for being here. I truly appreciate it. I made a promise a long time ago that if I were to ever make it in the trading game, that I would sort of give back in a way. And this is one of the ways that I do give back. I made a promise that I would share and try to be a beacon of light to those who were very similar to me many years ago, when the only thing that I ever wanted in life, the only thing that I ever wanted my whole life, guys, was just to be able to trade. This game we call trading bit me so hard when I was very young, 15 going on 16 years old. My world stopped. And when I found out that there was the possibility of doing this as a career, like doing this to sustain your life, I dropped every single interest I had as a young teenager. And I threw myself into this game that we call trading today. And I've never, ever had a plan B. I never wanted anything else. I never wanted to do anything else. I never wanted to be anything else. Everything from 15, 16 years old has been geared to do this one thing with my life. And there were many times I thought I wouldn't make it. But when I did, when I was about to, I made a promise to myself. I made a promise to myself and my personal God that I would share and try to be a beacon of light to others who just had that same passion. I know many of you have that same passion today. I know many of you are thinking like, man, I wish I started earlier. Oliver, I wish I met you earlier. Well, let me just tell you this before we start. You could not be doing this at a better time. A lot of people think that if they started earlier, things would have been better. If they started when I started 40 years ago, things would have been better. Wrong. Things are the best that they've ever been right now, today, and they're going to get better. If I had what you have today, I would not have gone through such an enormously long losing period. The world was different when I started. The technology was different. The opportunities were different. The cost was different. The barriers to entry into this world we call trading were so high. Today, the accessibility is yours. The technology is at your fingertips. The cost is practically nothing. And we're about to go to 23-hour trading in the American markets this December. Do you understand what that means? I want you prepared for that. Do you understand that you are going to become coffee drinking fiends in December? Because in December, the markets go 23 hours a day. You're never going to sleep. It's wild. And I want you prepared for that because that just opens up more opportunity. There's more opportunity to gain, more opportunity to profit, more time, and less excuses. Some of you have time as your excuse that I can't trade during the best times of the day. Well, now it's 23 hours. There's no excuse. It's crazy. That's in December, guys. So if I can just help you get prepared for that, whew, that whole 23-hour trading era is going just to take things to a different level. It's wild. We should do it together. All right, guys. Someone's saying, well, Oliver, if we go to 23 hours trading, will the Fab Four still work in the market? Yes, of course. The Fab Four doesn't need an open or a close. It just needs a narrow state, which we'll talk about a little bit today. All right? You can have narrow states throughout the day, multiple times. So, guys, let's get started here. All right? So, listen, I want you taking some notes. But at the same time, right, I don't want you taking notes so furiously that you miss what I'm saying at the current time. Take them loosely, come back and tighten them up after the session. And of course, this is always going to be recorded, so you can come back and watch it multiple times if you miss something. I just don't want your note taking to be so detailed right now that I'm off to the next thing and you're still taking a note on the thing that I just left. All right, don't do that, because you'll be able to come back and tighten it up. But I do believe in the value of jotting some things down as you listen to me, not waiting for later. There is something magical about the pen when you do that, right? There's magic in the pen. So that connection of jotting a note down, if something hits you a certain way, really locks some of the concepts in a way that a non-note taker is not going to be locked in. All right, so do that. All right, now, so guys, I decided that I want to leave you today with a small handful of things that I make personally, and many of my traders, because I teach them this, I make the vast majority of my trading profits from this small handful of things. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. I call these my bread and butter plays, or my bread and butter concepts. Why? Because they're my daily bread. There's not a single day that I am not playing one or more of these concepts I'm going to share with you today. All right? My bread and butter. All right? And I want it to be your bread and butter. All right, let's go. Let me get some slides up here for you. Boom. All right. So we're going to trade like a VIP in 2026. I'm going to get you prepared for this 23-hour market that is coming up in December. And the opportunities I'm going to share with you today are only going to explode in that market, that 23-hour a day market. So you'll get more of these opportunities, not less. You'll get greater ability to profit, not less. All right. And I'm very excited about it, guys. All right. Follow me everywhere, guys. I do want you to subscribe to the channel. My team tells me about 80+% of you watch the videos, but you don't subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button for me. Turn the notification bell on in the upper right hand corner so you don't miss anything. It's absolutely free. And it does us a very, very big, you give us a very, very big gift when you do that. You give us the ability to spread our message in a wider fashion. So please subscribe, hit the bell in the upper right hand corner. It would mean the world to me. All right, let's talk about position trading. And guys, this is something that I have spoken on many occasions about. I'm a big position trader. And a lot of traders out there have no concept of what position is. But position is like, in the real estate world, position is like choosing the right land to build an amazing house on. So we want an amazing trade, but the trade should be on the right piece of land. All right? So a buy has a buy piece of land. Like there's a piece of land or a position where a buy is better than another location. So position is sort of like location in real estate. They say there's only 3 ways to make money in real estate market: location, location, location. Well, I say there's only 3 ways to make money in trading: location, 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 or position, position, position. All right. So we've talked about positions. I'm going to glance over a little bit because I want to zero in on a specific position that delivers a very reliable, profitable trading opportunity for me. But I have to give you the foundation of position first again. All right. So position trading, this is called what I call trading by the numbers, guys. Right. So as many of you probably know, if you followed my work for any particular period of time, what you will know is that I will not look at a chart unless it is accompanied by 2 key moving averages. All right. These 2 key moving averages are the 20 period moving average. They're all simple. The 200 period moving average and that's the red line, and the 20 period moving average, that's the blue line. All right, that's the 20 period moving average. All right, and these two work together as a buddy system. When they are both flat and close together, when they are both flat and close together, you have what I call a narrow state. Now, this is very important. Why is being able to identify a narrow state important? Because the best trades of your entire trading career will emerge from narrow states. Statistically, there are many good trading opportunities, but the very best throughout your entire trading career, your best trades, the ones that give you the greatest joy, the ones that give you the greatest fluidity, the ones that give you the greatest oomph, the ones that give you the instant profitability, that no pain whatsoever, just from the moment you enter. Your best trade statistically will emerge from flat, narrow states. And the quick and dirty way of determining this is when both of your moving averages are flat, both of them are relatively close together, and if you can get the price together flat and narrow with those two moving averages, you've got the creme de la creme of narrow states. Now let's go back to this, right? Here you see Oracle has the creme de la creme of narrow states. The 200 is flat, the 20 is flat, and the price is relatively flat and close with the moving averages. Now that's tight and narrow. The following morning, now I judge that this narrow state can emerge multiple times throughout the day. All right? But when I'm trading off of the open, I want to see what the state was in the latter part of the prior day. And this is the first bar of the morning. Now, why is grabbing the state so important? Because once you have the state, you know your positions. So once I have the state, especially if it's narrow, the position right above a narrow state is what I call position 1. Now, this is a zone. It doesn't have to be touching, but it's a zone. All right? It can be you're in 1 right above it, you're in +1 or position 1, a little bit above it, a little bit higher above it, but it's a zone. So you're relatively close to the state, but you're above it. That's a +1. If you are under the state, you are in what I call -1 position. Okay? Now, position 1, based on your state, or negative position 1, +1 is the very best buy location. That's the best buy location you can have. A buy out of position 1, +1, will give you the highest statistical odds of success. The best short location is the opposite, negative position 1. So the best long is going to come out of a +1. The best short is going to come out of a -1. So what are you looking for in the position 1? You're looking for strong green to emerge. Or you're looking for a color change. Now, listen to me carefully. Write this down. When your stock or your tradable item is in plus position 1, you're looking for one of two things. You're looking for a green surge in that position 1. Boom! And you just hit the surge up. Just dive into the surge. All right? We're going to buy the surge in position 1. Or we're going to buy the color change. The color change is when a green just takes out the high of the color red. Let's go to this. All right? So here we have the first bar coming out, let me do this a different color. The first bar of the day is born in position 1, but it's red. But that's not the color we want. We want green in position 1. So we want either a green surging bar in position 1, or we want red that gets taken out. Boom, right there. Boom! At that moment, green trades higher than the color red. That's your strike moment. That is your strike moment. The moment green trades 1 penny, 1 instance, 1 iota above the high of red, that's your buy. As long as you're in position 1, you're good. Now, some people say, but Oliver, what about the wicks? What about the tails? You can ignore the wicks and the tails. So let's pretend that the wick or the tail is not there, and we're just looking for the color change. All right? Pretend the wicks aren't there. Boom. That's your color change. That is your moment you strike. You do not wait for that green bar to finish. If you wait for that green bar to finish, you're buying way up here. I want you buying the moment it crosses the high of red. Color changes in position 1 are going to make you wealthy at this game we call trading. Green bar surges from position 1. Green bar surges from position 1 are going to make you wealthy in this game. Color changes in position 1 are going to make you wealthy. Those are the only 2 things you need in position 1. Sometimes you're going to get a single green bar surge. Boom, you hit the surge up before that surging bar. Now, guys, my traders trade predominantly off a 2-minute chart with these tactics. So every bar represents 2 minutes of trading. So that surging 2-minute bar, that bar is growing. It starts off small green, uh-oh, normal green, uh-oh, it's surging green, boom! Into the bar, stop below the low. 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 I'm repeating that multiple times because the stop is important. At least initially, I want you losing only 1 bar. That's how you stay in this game. You keep your losses limited to 1 bar. So you enter the bar, stop right under the same bar. All right? Now, we want surging green or color change, whichever happens first, coming out of position 1 or forming in position 1. All right? Now, position 1 is the zone right above. Position 2 is in the middle, and position 3 is elevated way above the state. Remember, this is your state. We grab the state with 3 items, 20, 200, and price. When they're all 3 are flat and close together, you have a narrow state. Once you have that state, you can map out your positions. You know the position right above it is +1. The position higher is +2. And the position very high is +3. Now, +3 is where we go short. We will play more to the downside from position 3. All right? We will play the upside from position 1. All right? And we can play both ways from position 2, down or up, depending upon the power of your bar there. So this kind of makes position 2 the trickiest one. I hope you can see that, because 3 is only down. So we play down, we play against the position. We short from position 3, we long from position 1, but we can go long or short from position 2. So that's the tricky one. All right? You got this? You understand this? I want to see your faces here. Tell me you understand this so far. That position 2 is your trickiest because you can go both ways. 1, you can only go one way. Well, not only. I'm gonna show you an exception to that later. But most of the time you're playing only long from position 1. You're playing only short from position 3, but position 2 can go either way. So that makes position 2 trickier, right? Not after today. I'm going to make it clear for you. All right? All right. Good. We trade by position. Guys, you've got to know your positions. Most traders out here are trading. They don't know anything about position. They're like, position, what is that? An iPhone app? What is that, Oliver? Position. Location. What is location, Oliver? Is it GPS? They have no concept. All right? But you have to match up an event, a trading event, with the right location. A house on the right piece of land. You can build a mansion in the ghetto and you got the right house, mansion, but the wrong neighborhood, the wrong position, the wrong location. Ghetto, wrong combination. All right? You're going to fetch the greatest value when you have a tradable event, a color change or a surging bar in the right position. All right? Okay. We're going to put this together really, really nicely. You'll see. We're going to put this together really nicely for you here, guys. All right. Now, here is another position 1. Now, this is tricky, guys, because some of my traders got caught in the morning off of this. This is Netflix. Now, I want you to grab the state. Look at the state. You see how the 20 and the 200, they're both flattened together and the price is clustered along with them? So there's your narrow state. Very nice. Boom. There's your state. Here is position 1. And here is negative position 1. So some of my traders bought that green bar in position 1. They dove into that green bar in position 1, which you can see is what I just taught you to do. Right? So they came in here. Boom. All right? Now, when we went over this, I told them that's not necessarily wrong, but I'll tell you why I don't really like it. I prefer, not that I can always get it, but I prefer clean position 1s. I prefer things that are born in the right position. I don't necessarily like so much when a stock is trying to be 2 things at the same time. So notice how it started in negative position 1 and then went to positive position 1. Bro, make up your mind. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a negative 1 or you want to be a positive 1? You can't be both. I don't like when stocks are trying to be both. I tend to skip these. Now, if we go back to the prior one, right, you'll see this is born. The whole thing is born in position 1. It didn't come from down here and move up and try. It started off negative, now it's positive. I call those straddlers. You got 1 foot in the negative world, right? 1 foot in the negative world and another foot in the positive world. You're trying to hedge. You're trying to be two things at once. I don't like you. But what I do like here is the color change in position one. Do you see that? Whoo! So remember I told you once you have your state, you've got your position. That's position -1. We only need a surge, all right? Or a color change. I love when now green is taken out by red, guys. Right, remember I told you can ignore the tails. You don't need the tails. If the tails are small, I will use the tails. But if they're not, I just pretend they're not there and I go with the color. Boom. When does red take out green? Right there. Boom. That's my entry bar. And the rest is history. That is a short in negative position one. The last one we saw a long in plus position one. This is a short in negative position one. Remember what I told you. Your best trades, your most fluid trades, the ones with the greatest flow, the ones with the greatest oomph, the ones that give you no pain, the ones that give you no problem, the ones that don't struggle statistically the most, are your trades from position one. Color changes, whenever they occur, they can occur on the second bar, they can occur on the third bar, the fourth bar, the fifth. Whenever they happen in position one, you take them. Whenever surges in the direction of position one, whenever surge bars, what I call elephant bars, occur in position one, you take them. Just two things, elephants and color changes. Elephants and color changes in position one. Stop above or below your entry bar. That's the basic stop. There are more sophisticated stops that I teach you once you get in on the team. But the basic one is stop above or below your entry bar. You lose one bar. If I can get you to limit your losses to one bar, you're going to stay in this game for life, forever, because your profits are always 3 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars, 15 bars, 20 bars sometimes. But if every loss is 1 bar, that's how you turn the math in your favor. I lose 1 bar, I win 8. I lose 1 bar, I win 4 bars. I lose 1 bar, I win 15 bars. I lose 1 bar, I win 3 bars. But I always lose 1 bar. All right? All right. Let's keep going here. Now, I taught, here is the last position one I'm going to show you, because I'm really showing you, I'm getting you acclimated to what position one is, because I really want to get to position two and show you how to turn position two into a nice money maker for you. All right. But I've learned that if I teach you or you understand position one trading, you'll understand position two trading better. All right. So here is position one again, guys, but this is in the form of a gap. So let's grab our state again. Remember, the 20 is flat and the 200 is flat and your stock is flat. So if we just join them together, I always like to do that. It's easy to do that to get your state. Wherever those three, if they're all three flat, you're in beautiful position. You got a beautiful state. If all three things are flat, your stock is flat, your 20 is flat, your 200 is flat. That's a nice state right there. And anything here is 1, anything here is 2, anything down here is 3. It's a zone, remember. Now we need either in position -1, we need either a surging bar and or a surging bar, and or a color change. Anytime green, the low of green is taken out by red, like that. Boom. Either one. So here we get both. We get a nice strong red bar that is also eliminating green. But one might say, Oliver, this red bar didn't eliminate all the green. The next one did, and that would be true. But if the green bar is sizable enough, you can cut it in half. That's what I teach my traders. Cut the green in half and look at it as if it's two green bars standing on top of each other, one standing on top of the other. And you can get in on the bottom half of the green. That's a little more advanced. That's an anticipatory green bar elimination. We're entering before the actual full bar is eliminated, but we want more than 50% of it eliminated. I'm only going to do that if the bar is kind of sizable. I don't want to wait for it to get all the way to the low. Breaking halfway through is good enough. Boom. And the rest is history. You got that? Let me know. Let me know if you got that, guys. I want to see your faces here. A few of you let me know while I sip my coffee here. You got that anticipatory entry? Halfway. If red cuts the green in half, I'm good. I'm in. But the bar's got to be kind of sizable to do that. Got it? I love your teaching. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. That's one of my talents, guys. I don't want that to sound egotistical, but it is. All right? That is one of the things, this is one of the things, guys, that I think the combination that I share with you is very unique. It's powerful, but it's also unique because there are people who are able to do things well, but they're terrible communicators. They're terrible teachers. And there are people who are good teachers, but they don't really have the skill or the experience to be teaching anything. So a lot of times those two things are mismatched. Here's a great teacher, but not very skillful. So what is he teaching me? He's making stupid things sound good because he's a good teacher. And then you've got the talented one who can't teach his way out of a brown paper bag if it was soaking wet. And what benefit is it to have a skill that you can't transfer the knowledge and experience from that skill to another through your teaching technique? But yeah, so my two talents, trading and teaching. It's unique. It's not as prevalent as you think. All right, guys, good. So I'm glad you understand this, that anticipatory color change entry. We're going in, we're cutting this bad boy in half, and all the red has to do is, boom, get in the bottom half of that green, and that's good enough. Entry, remember where your stop is? Stop above your entry bar. You're always going to lose only your entry bar, and look at what you gain if you stay in this. That's the proverbial snowman. Your losses are always the head. Your profits are always the snowman's body. Your profits are always much bigger than your losses. You lose the head, you gain the body. Now, how many of these losses fit inside that body? A lot. That's how you stay in the game. You snowman your way to profitability. You lose the head, you gain the body. But most traders have this backwards. They will lose the body and gain the head. They'll snatch at their gains and milk and nurture their losses. They have the whole formula backwards. All right. Now, I've taught you, or we've gone over position one, guys, just so that I could get you familiar with positions so that we can now talk about what I really want to talk about, which is position two trading. And more specifically, I want you to understand how I use position two collapses for very consistent gains in this market. So we're going to play a position two collapse. This is my position two collapse play. It's what I call failure trading, because position two plus two is positive, but I want to collapse from position two. All right, let's look at it. Here you're looking at a 2-minute chart of the Qs, guys, QQQ. Look at the first bar of the morning. Now remember, always grab your state, okay? Always grab your state. So we're going to take the 200, we're going to take the 20, and we're going to take the stock's price, remember? And let's always put them all together in the form of a triangle or whatever. And that's how you get your state, okay? Now, no, this is position one, so we're up here in position two up here. So the Qs open in position two, not position one. And so this is what I call the position two collapse play. You open positive, and then you collapse. And I want traders jumping into the collapse from position two. You're going to jump into this position two collapse. You're not going to wait for that collapse to finish. You're going to jump into it as long as you get enough red. Now, guys, I want you to understand how this emerges. You see this stock gap up, you see, in position two. And it starts to produce a little bit of red. And you're like, uh-oh, wait a minute. This could potentially become a position two collapse. If it gives me more and more red, I'm getting ready. And it might give you a little bit more. All right? And you're getting ready. Uh-oh. Here it comes. You get a little bit more. It's growing on you. Remember, this is a 2-minute bar. It's growing on you. As soon as you get enough red, guys, this is enough for me. Boom! I'm in. Stop above the high. Remember, your entry bar. Stop. So you're going to use your entry bar as your basic stop unit. I'm entering there. Boom. My stop is above the high. I know my loss potential. That's the head of the snowman. Boom. The rest is history. Entry. Now, I'm looking to play position two back through position one. That's the goal. I'm in position two. I'm looking for it to drop right to position one. That's my profit potential. It could go lower, but that's my minimum profit potential. 2 to 1. We trade by the positions. We trade by the numbers. All right? This is called position to collapse play. This is my position to collapse play. And I am telling you guys, listen to me carefully. Listen to me. This play in today's market, oh, you don't even want to know. It's so reliable. It's so repeatable. It's so fluid. It's going to become one of your favorite short tactics. And I want to explain to you why It's so reliable. Hear me out here. Hear me out. Very important. Hear me out here. Let's see your faces here. Let's see. I want you to think about the stock gapping up in the morning. That's bullish. A lot of people are actually immediately buying that gap up. They're going in. And as soon as they get in, boom, they get slammed. And they're like, oh my God. They start exiting. The people who bought the gap on the collapse say, oh my God, I made a mistake. And they start selling. Then you and I come in, we start selling. The people that were holding it from long the prior day, they start selling. And an avalanche of selling just starts hitting the stock. So I want you to think of the three groups. There are people who are holding this long from yesterday. They get an instantaneous profit. Oh my God, my stock gapped up this morning. They're going to take profits. Boom. The people who bought the gap and it's now collapsing, they're going to start exiting. You and I are going to come in and start shorting. You got three groups selling at the same freaking time, pressuring the stock down. Those who have profits and don't want that instant gap profit to disappear, they start seeing some red. I'm taking my profits. They're sellers. The ones who bought the gap and are now losing, they become sellers. And you and I become sellers. Pushing this thing down. And that's why it's so fluid. You got every cohort selling at the same freaking time. Tell me you understand that. You got that psychology? All we're doing is playing people, guys. We're not playing stocks. We're not playing futures contract. We're playing people. Do you understand? We're playing. The stock doesn't move by itself. That's people moving the stock. This idea that, you have to study the stocks to trade well. No, you got to study people to trade well. Stocks don't move themselves. People move stocks. And when you understand the psychology behind movements, stock movements, when you understand it from the people perspective, it becomes crystal clear. Now I understand why these stocks fall so hard from position 2, because you got three cohorts of traders selling at the same time. Yes, powerful, guys, powerful. How many people sloshing around with a Robinhood account know this? They're losing their family's money. It's a shame. All right. Okay, let's get back here. I'm not finished with you yet. This position 2 collapse, guys, this is such a beautiful thing. Let's take a look at another one. Whoo! Look at that Starbucks. Look at that Starbucks. So we know that you open up here, and this starts printing red. A little bit of red, more red, more red. Okay, I've seen enough. Boom! Stop above the high. The rest is history. Position 2 collapse. All I'm waiting for, give me some red. Give me some red. Give me a little bit more. Boom! Once I get enough red. Now, I know that's somewhat subjective. All right, we have specifics that I'm just not going to go into today. It's just more involved, but you get the general idea. You just need enough red. And you need to get in early enough to where your stop is not going to kill you either. Because if you get in here and your stop has to be there, this can kill you if it reverses on you, right? So you got to make sure you're not, your stop is going to be there. He's like, I just need enough red. I need enough red. I need enough red. Boom, that's enough. I don't need to see anymore. Now my stop is not going to kill me. That's the head of the snowman. And here's the body. As long as that body statistically is much bigger than the head, you're going to stay in this game forever. If you lose the head, which you will occasionally, that's fine. Just make sure your gains are like the fat body of the snowman. Now, I always do this, and I always have I always second guess myself, guys, here. I always second guess myself here. Do I go deep with you here? Do I go deeper, or do I keep it kind of basic, simple, and powerful? Always, sometimes I regret this. All right, I'm gonna share this with you, but this is a different layer. It's a deeper layer of this, right? So remember I told you that it surges up or down, surges or color changes, right? That's where our entries are based on these two broad categories. I'm either getting a surge from my location. So position 2, boom, surge down, hit the surge. Or position 2, color change down. But there are hidden color changes. And this is where it gets a little deeper. Let me show you. It gets a little deeper. So here, guys, we have a hidden color change in that little wick there. You see that little wick? Now, I'm going to erase the red because that red happens later, right? That red is not there yet. At first, this stock opens here and it moves up first. You see? That's why that wick is there. It moves up first. And you have the color green. Now, if this keeps surging, it might even be a buy. Because remember, you can buy in position 2 too. You just need a surge. But what if instead of it continuing, the green gets eliminated right here? Here's the elimination point, right? Where green is, what if that green gets retraced? And not only retraced, it starts producing, it eliminates the green and starts producing, boom, some red. Uh-oh. There's the start of it. Boom! My traders would be drilling here. They don't need to see anymore. They got the color change and the surge happening. Remember, this was the hidden color change. They saw it green momentarily, and they saw the green get disappeared. Now they're getting the red. So they've got the color change and the surging red happening back to back. Boom! Stop above the high, and the rest is history. Gotta love that sound. Gotta love that sound, guys. You love it, right? You love that sound? Yeah? That's what we're after. Come on, do it for me. I want to see it. Do it for me. I want to see it. Type it for me. Type that sound. Do it for me. I want to see you. There it is. There it is. That's it, Ellis. Yeah. That's the $100 bill counter, right? Now, some of you, because we all need that $100 bill counter. Some of you don't have a $100 bill counter. Now, some of you do, but yours sounds like this. It's like 1/100. Now we got to change that. Flowing from position 2 to 1. We're position trading. 2 to 1, 2 to 1. Collapse or color change, or both. All right. Yeah, some of your money counting machines sound like this. Silence. All right, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that. A silent money counter. All right. All right, guys. Let's get back to things. I'm not finished with you yet. We got to get back to some things. This is very valuable stuff here. All right. Now, guys, look at Baba. Uh-oh. Grab that position. Grab that position, guys. Grab that position. All right. Grab that position. You know how to do this now. Grab that state. Now, we gap up here, and it produces green. The next bar takes out the green and becomes a surging bar at the same time. I don't care where you try this, here, there, there. All of this is goodness. All of that is goodness. Stop above the high of your entry. The rest is history. Position 2 collapse, right back to position 1. And a lot of people got suckered in here. You understand? A lot of traders, a lot of people got suckered into the gap. That's why it's green. They got suckered in. Now they're coming out. Uh-oh, we're losers. We made a mistake. They're coming out. You and I are coming from way over here and joining them. Boom. I'll join you on the sell side too. And you got all of this selling. These guys are selling. You got people from yesterday selling because they don't want to lose that gap profit they got, adding pressure to the downside. So you got these three groups. The trader group down here is selling to not lose any more of their gap gain. So they're selling. You got the traders that got suckered into the gap here. They're selling now because they're now at a loss and they don't want their loss to exasperate. And then you and I, this is you and I over here. This is OV. And this is you. And we're coming in, we say, we'll join you. Boom! That's that position to collapse. And guys, I'm telling you, this has been accounting for some really nice profits in this market environment. There's been a lot of position to collapses, right? Here it is again. Remember, guys, this, in this NVIDIA, this was green. The whole thing was green. But it didn't finish there. It collapsed back. And here is the color change. Boom. Boom. Rest is history. So your collapse starts here. Collapse, color change. Because when you get them both together, guys, the color change and the collapse at the same time, it's just more powerful. All right? But there are people who got suckered in here, and they become the sellers on the other side when it starts to fail. They're adding pressure to the downside, and you and I are joining them, adding pressure. So we'll join you. Boom. We're coming in on that color change. And so you got group one, you got group two selling to not lose their gap. Group one is selling over here. Group two, and you and I are group three. We're all sellers. That's what adds the pressure to the stock from that initial profitable territory. Very powerful when you understand what's happening on the people side. Nobody's talking about NVIDIA's earnings and on none of that BS. It's chip manufacturing. No, it's people. I don't care about that. I don't care about your earnings. You understand? I don't care about a company's earnings. I don't get any of the money. I don't care. Management and the chip manufacturing and the this and the that and the contracts and that doesn't mean anything to me. What are the people doing? Are they selling? Are they buying? Is everyone piling at the same time? Everyone's exiting at the same time? I'm jumping on board that when I spot that. Doesn't matter. This is what gets a lot of people tricked with news. You can't profitably trade news. You can't do it. Sometimes the news is a driver in the opposite direction of the news. It's all about what the people are doing, what the traders are doing, what your crowd is doing. We're readers of the crowd. We're not readers of the news. All right? If being on the inside and knowing news before the rest of the people were profitable, Jim Cramer would be better. That dude is terrible. He gets inside news all the time. He's terrible. Can't do that. All right. Let's get back here. All right. Let's talk about crash plays. So, guys, that was, right? That was the first thing I wanted to share with you. Position 2 collapses. It's a big money maker for me in this market. All right? Position 2 collapse. Trading from position 2 back to position 1. All right? The next thing I want to share with you is what I call crash plays. Now, this play, the crash play, kind of violates one of our principles. Remember I told you like the best trades come from position 1? Like buys from +1, they're the best buys when your stock is in that +1. But this is the exception. When you crash to position 1, that's going to go through position 1 most of the time. Or if you crash into negative position 1, you're going to go through most of the time. And this is the exception to the position rule. It's the crash play. I need you on point to understand this, because this is also a huge moneymaker. The crash play. Let's take a look. All right, let's take a look. The crash play. All right. Now, here is PayPal, right? It is crashing. What do I mean by crash? A powerful, unadulterated, violent bar right into something. We're crashing right into the 200. Boom! Now, that 200 is resistance, But the power of the crash usually makes it through. If it crashes hard enough, it's going through. But normally after some brief fluttering. Now here's the brief flutter right there. Now remember what color that was. That was red first. We dropped and it was red first. Right after the crash. I want to see that right after the crash. I want to see a little bit of red after the crash. But then I want to see the red get taken out and start producing green. And I'm in. Boom! Right there. If that red, I'm watching it red. So guys, remember, this green is not there yet, right? That's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing, boom, crash into the 200. It's coming back a little bit. I want to see that. But I want to see if the power from the crash eliminates that red and starts producing green again. All I need to see is a little bit of, all I need to see is that red get eliminated and a little bit of green prints here. That's all I need, and that's my entry. And that's exactly what happens. I watch the red disappear, and I watch the green start printing. Boom! Right there. That's the crash play. All right? So a lot of times you will see crash. Let me do this a different color. So you'll see crash into resistance, crash, pull back, boom, right through. I want that right there. All right? Right there. It's crash, pull back, boom. Okay? And you can get this on the reverse side too. Crash, bounce, boom. Crash, bounce, boom. Or crash, pull back, boom. Crash, pull back, boom. All right? Now, color change is what I'm looking for here. Color change. Color change. Color change on the bounce. I told you this was a color change. If you look carefully, this is a color change here. You're going from red first back to green. It's changing colors. All right. Here it is again. You are crashing from here. Boom. Into, this is hard. Look how tall that move is. Boom. Crash into the 200. Gets me red next. That's cool. Color change. Boom. That's all I need. And it's right in the perfect location. This is the bull crash play. You get a extraordinarily powerful bar that crashes into resistance. 200 is your resistance. Flutters, pulls back a little bit. Flutters, produces the opposite color. That's fine. If the opposite color is eliminated, boom, that's your entry. Now, some traders get fancy that I teach this to. They buy the crash and they add on the color change. They get fancy. They hit it up twice. I'm telling you, wait for the color change, but some of them get into the crash bar. You understand? And they add on the color change. They hit it up twice. Okay. Now, take a look. We took a look at NVIDIA from position 2. Remember, we saw NVIDIA collapse from position 2. But I want to talk about the crash into the 200. See, this bar is now a crash bar, and I actually join bars together when they're fluid like this, and I look at the whole drop as a crash play. It's crashing right into that 200 period moving average there. Bounces, color change. So crash, bounce, boom. Crash, bounce, boom. Don't be afraid of the bounce. That's what we want. I want that bounce. Crash, bounce, boom. Crash, bounce, boom. Or the other way. Crash, pull back, boom. All right? Tell me you got this, guys. Do you understand the crash play? Crash play, bounce, color change. Crash play, bounce, color change. Enter. Crash play, bounce, color change. Entry. Got it? That's it. I freaking love it. And it pays over and over and over and over again. Now, let me tell you why bounces after crashes don't work. I got to explain it from the people side. I'm going to explain it two ways. If I body slam someone on the pavement, boom, and their head bounces up off the pavement, it doesn't mean they're okay, right? Boom, body slam. Boom, head bounces off the pavement. They're still done in. Just because that head bounces off the pavement, boom, they fall back down, right? Same thing, I call this the dead cat bounce, right? Now, I'm a cat lover. Don't take this personally. Don't take it literally. But if a cat falls from the top of a tall building and the cat hits the ground, the cat's dead, all right? The carcass, the body might bounce off the pavement, but that doesn't mean the cat's alive. Cat's dead on contact. Boom, crash. Body bounces, but that's a dead body. Falls right back down. We're catching that dead cat bounce after a crash. And think of what all the people who got slammed in the crash, they get a little bit of their money back and they're like, I'm out. So there's a lot of selling on that bounce. The people who got slammed get a little bit of a reprieve and they're like, okay, that's enough, I'm out. So that bounce meets with a lot of selling because the collapse hurt a lot of traders. And now bounces are going to be used to pair losses. All right? And when you understand it from that point of view, it makes sense. Well, of course, that bounce is not meaningful. Of course, that bounce doesn't mean anything. It's just an opportunity to hit this thing up for the next leg down. Crash plays nearly, not every time, guys, nothing's every time, but almost. It's like 9 times out of 10, you get a second leg down. So crash, one bounce, second leg lower. Do you understand? It's very powerful. I want you to have these things, guys. I want you to have these things. You know, I want you to have these things under your belt. We got 24-hour trading coming soon. You know what I'm saying? We got 23-hour trading, I should say, coming soon. It's crazy. You need to have these things under your belt. You get ready for this. These opportunities are only going to increase. They're not going to decrease because it's 24-hour trading. They're going to increase. You know how many more narrow states you get in 23 hours? You know how many more surge plays off the 200 you get? You know how many more crash plays you get? Position 2 collapses. I mean, crazy. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. All right. All right. So, let's do this. Let's keep going. We're not finished yet. Surge plays. So we've done. You got position 1 trading out of the way, surges and color changes from position 1. You got position 2 collapses under your belt. You got crash plays and taking advantage of the bounce or the pullback after crash plays, color changes. You got that under your belt. Now we're going to add surge plays, and that should wrap things up. Surge, what I call surge plays off the 20 or surge plays off the 200. Now, let me demonstrate something here for you first. The 20-period moving average is the most powerful when it is rising or declining like that. When it is rising, it is the most powerful on the long side. Boom. It will tend to serve as a floor underneath your stock. When it is sloping downward, it will tend to serve as a ceiling above your stock. Your stock will tend to ricochet. It might slip through a little bit, but ricochet back down. So the 20-period moving average becomes powerful when it is trending upward or downward and more or less around a 45-degree angle. That's when it's at its most potent, a 45-degree angle up or a 45-degree angle down. And catching color changes right off the 20 is a beautiful thing. Or catching color changes, yes, here, right off the 20 to the downside is a beautiful thing. So surges and color changes off a sloping 20, oh, they pay very handsomely. Now let's take the 200. Your 200, if the 20 is the most powerful when it is trending, the 200 is the most powerful when it is flat. And so now surges off the 200 become extraordinarily powerful, or surges this way off the 200 become extraordinarily powerful. Up or down, they just have to start near. They don't have to be touching. They can cross it a little bit too. Just near. The surge originates near the flat 200, or the surge originates near the rising or falling 20. If I can get you, guys, if I can get you to focus on entering plays around the 200 or around the sloping 20, wow. If I can just, because that's how I start my trading kits off. We start off with two things. You got two lines. I only want to see trades around these two lines. I want the blue line to be rising or falling, and I want the red line to be flat. And you're going to take power bars off these two items. That's how I start the kids off. And they trade better than you. because they don't overcomplicate. They don't have an adult mind. They'll say, well, Oliver, what exactly do you mean by near? Is there a formula? Is there a specific number? What percentage near? 1%, 2%, da, 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 da. They don't say like that. They're just like, near. Is that near? That's near. Is that far? That's far. That's it. They think like 11-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds. Adults are like, well, Oliver, can you define near? Like, dude, you're overcomplicating this. Like, I'm not sure if that's near. Dude, if you're not sure, it's not near. Like, it should be that obvious. Near should be obvious. But if you're like, I don't, then it's not. Right? But the adult mind can complicate things through the roof. The kids don't do that. That's why they trade better than you. But I start them off there. I start their worlds off with two things. You're going to take plays. You're going to take surging bars off a sloping 20. You're going to take surging bars off a flat 200. There's a red line. You're going to take surging bars up or down. And the blue line needs to be angled. And you're going to take surges in the direction of the angle. And they start there. Enter the surging bar. Protect yourself under or above that bar, and you're in the game. Now, that's simple. And some traders are like, Oliver, it can't be that simple, but it is. It is that simple. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's freaking simple. I mean, if you think about it, the game we're playing is simple. Stocks go up or they go down, or they go sideways sometimes. That's it. Three things. That's it. Up, down, sideways. Up, down, sideways. That's not complex mechanism. You understand? There's two moving averages, the 20 and the 200. That's simple. Right? There's two broad positions, above the state, below the state. We divide them into three phases, 1, 2, and 3, but it's above and below. You got two color bars, green and red. You got two actions, buy, sell. You got two results, win, loss. That is not a complex mechanism, right? We are complex. You are complex. You bring complexity to this simple game. That's how you mess it up. You bring your complexity to a simple game. I didn't say easy, but it is simple. You know, basketball is simple. Put the ball in the hoop. Yeah, simple, but not that easy when you got 5 other people trying to prevent you from doing that. But the game is simple. All right? So your complexity is what's messing things up. It's your lack of discipline. It's your lack of knowledge of positions. It's your lack of specific entry methods. It's your inexperience. It's your inability to do what you say you're going to do. It's your inability to cut the trade when one bar is eliminated. All you bring all of that, and of course, the results those negative results get created by your complexity, by you making a simple game more complex than it needs to be. The market is neutral, guys. It doesn't trade any differently for you than it does for me, than it does for Warren Buffett. It trades the same. Do you understand? It's neutral. So if it's neutral, why does everyone get different results? Because everyone's different. But it's not the market that's different. The market's not different. The market's the same for everybody. But everybody gets different results. So then what is determining the difference? You are determining the difference, not the market. Most people think they need to study the market to become better. No, you need to study you to become better. You need to figure out you. Why can't you do what you already know? Some of you already know enough just from watching my videos here. And why can't you do it? That's you. That's not the market, right? But okay, I digress. Let's get back to let's finish up these tactics. I need you to have these things under your belt. All right? Need you to have these things. So, surge plays. We're going to play surges off the 20 when the 20 is sloping, or surges off the 200 when it's relatively flat. All right? And boom, there it is. There's my surging bar off the 20. Boom! I want you buying that bar. Stop under the bar's low, and the rest is history. All right? Surges off the 20 or off the 200. You're buying the surging bar off the 20. Boom! Or off the 200. The 200 is not relevant here. The rest is history. It's not rocket science. Surging off the 20. Boom. At what point do you have enough red to just say this is a surge off the 20? Surge is off the 20. You can take some color changes off the 22 if you like, as long as it's sloping. It's not rocket science. If I keep the kids around these two things. They only trade around. Now, here's a surge off both of them. Are you kidding me? Here's a surge off the 20 and a surge off the flat 200. You're buying into that surge, and the rest is history. That's crazy. If I can keep you around these two things, surge, boom, I'm off the 20, get in that surge, stop above the high, the rest is history. You can take some color changes near if you like, but we're talking about surges now. I love to play the surges. Remember this NVIDIA trade? Here's a surge off the 200. Get in that surge. Off the 200. Very powerful. This is a surge off the 200 and the 20 at the same time. Both. Boom. Remember, we already played the collapse from 2. We played the crash and the bounce, and now the surge off the 200. When you start putting all of this together, you can see all the opportunities that come within a morning. Well, a morning for my time here. So I'm playing the collapse from 2. Boom. The crash bounce, I'm getting in on the color change. Boom. That's the dead cat bounce. That's the crash play. Boom. And you can add on the surge just to beef it up. Woo! A trade is just rolling from one tactic to the next. Rolling from one tactic to the next. Boom, boom, boom. Very powerful when you put it together. And here's Bitcoin. I thought I'd have some fun because, guys, look, Bitcoin has rallied, right, from 63,000 and change. It hit almost 80,000 in 2 days. That's crazy. From 63 to 8. That's crazy. But it all started with a surge off the 200 and the 20. Take a look. Look at the state. Remember I told you? Grab the state. Now I like my micro time frame for Bitcoin is 15. On stocks, it's the 2 minute. But on Bitcoin, you got to go a little bit bigger. It's the 15 minute. But look at the state, guys. Look at the state. Look at the surge. Boom! And the rest is history. Look at the surge off the 20 right there. Boom! This went to 80,000. Almost 80,000. That's insane. We're just at 73. It's crazy. Let me know. Are you seeing this? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Do you understand? Surges off the 200, go. Surges off the 20, especially when it's sloping, they go. Do you understand this? You get the surge, you put your stop under the surge or above the surge if it's a short. It's not rocket science. Are you getting this? Picture perfect narrow, Chevy. That's right. That's right. You got it? Now, surges off the 200 go further. That makes sense because it's the bigger moving average. It's the longer term moving average. So they tend to go further. Surges off the 20 go nicely too, but the surges off the 200 tend to go further. So I want you to understand that. Now let me show you something, okay? And you're now going to understand this. But I want you to answer for me. I'm going to show you something. Check this out. Smoke on this. It's going to be freaking crazy. All right? You're going to know this. You're going to know it. All right, watch this. Here is the weekly time frame. I want you to take a look at the 200. I want you to look at this surge off the 200. Is Bitcoin going higher based on the concept I just taught you? You tell me. You see that? I'm going to see your faces. Let me see. Bitcoin going higher? Yes or no? You saw that surge off the 200, right? I just taught you that. Where's that going? I also just told you that surges off the 200 go the furthest. Oh, yeah. You want to make some good gains? What I just taught you just happened, no? And what are you going to do about it? That's crazy. Oh, that's higher. Oh, you want to see the other times? All right, let me show you the other times. Check this out. So here, I'm telling you that based on what I just taught you, this is higher, right? But check this out. Look at the last time. You went from around 30 to 126. That's crazy. From that surging off the 200. Now you have it again. Where are we going this time? You see what I'm talking about, traders? This is now just looking at it from the longer term view. Same thing, we will focus on micro, but you can apply this to macro. Same thing. You see what I'm saying? You can take what I just taught you and change your life. You can change your life with this. How many people ever double their lives? How many people do that? You can double your life with what I just spoke to you about. You can double your whole life. You can double your life every year. Most people never double their life in their whole lifetimes. You can double your life every year. Your whole life. Imagine just doubling your life every year. I'm double, I'm double, I'm double, or more. This game we call trading is so beautiful because you don't need anybody else. You know? It's you and the markets. And it's really not even the market. The market is just your tool. It's like a carpenter doesn't say, it's me and my hammer. Carpenter's like, no, it's me, my carpentry skill. I'm the blessed one. I'm the one that can create beautiful things because I'm the skilled carpenter. You can put any carpentry tools in my hands and my skill will flow through the tools. You can put any market in front of me. My skill will flow through that market. The market is my toolbox. And these things are like, the hammer is like, the topping tail bar from position 2 and, the crash from position 2, the surge off the 200 period. These are our individual tools. We can make some beautiful things. But the way I like to look at it, trading the right way, you can double your life every year or more. This is crazy. Amazing. And you can do this, guys. What I explained to you today is not rocket science. You can do this. This is 12-year-old stuff. 12-year-olds are doing this that I'm teaching. It's not rocket science. But you need proper guidance and training. You can't do this without that. There's too many landmines, too many ways to go wrong. You need guidance so that you don't go down all these dead ends and you don't study things that are nonsense like moving average crossover. Oh, when this line crosses that line, you buy. Really? You think that you're going to play the most sophisticated markets in the world from something crossing over something, like a line crossing over another line? Really? You bought that? Well, when this indicator ticks up, you buy. Really? You bought that? You're talking about the most competitive market in the world where people are sloshing around billions of dollars, and the last thing they're going to allow you to do is to come into their world and take food off of their table. And you think that you're going to take food off their table by this line flipping up, really? Or this one crossing that one? Naive. That's crazy. Right? Or, you think you're going to learn something from the 19-year-old with a rented Bugatti in the back? Here's this Bugatti. Look at my Bugatti. That's how they say it now, right? My Bugatti. My Bugatti. That's how you do it? Really? 19-year-old? 22-year-old? Yeah, seriously? But, it's funny. Like, everything else in the world, we understand that you can't ever do it without proper training and guidance. We understand you can't be a doctor, you can't be a lawyer, you can't be any type of athlete without, proper training. But when it comes to trading, you don't need it. Really, the most competitive activity on earth, that's where you don't need it. That you need it in everything else in life. Training and guidance. Every top level athlete has had training and guidance. Can't become a great lawyer without training. Can't become a great doctor. Can't become a great anything. But when it comes to your money, you don't need it. That's when you don't need it. It's crazy to me. I got something for you. I got something for you here. Check this out. I got what I feel is the most power packed value thing that I offer. And I want every single one of you doing this. I want every single one of you, all of you, you need to do this. Check this out. Go to it right now. You can do this. My VIP trading club. I need all of you in this. This is the lowest value, this is the lowest cost for the biggest value of anything that I offer, guys. This is it. And I want you to do this for an entire year for me. 52 weeks. I'm going to give you 52 lessons, a lesson a week. And if you get under your belt 52 of these things, you will never be the same after a year. You will be head and shoulders above the vast majority of market participants out there. This is why I love this so much. First, we're going to learn the concepts, learn the tactic, learn the theory. We're going to sit down every week, guys. We do this every single week. You spend with me. One session every week. We learn something. Then you go out, and your assignment that week is just to do that thing in the market. Just that one thing over and over and over again. Until you come back to me the next week. We review that. And then I give you the next thing. I teach you the next thing. And we do a deep dive on that. And then you go out into the world and you just do that one thing the next week. Boom. This is how you have learned everything in your life. You've learned it piece by piece by piece. You did not go into kindergarten and learn trigonometry. You learned piece by piece by piece until trigonometry was necessary. But this is how the best training takes place. It's like we go into the locker room, to use a sports analogy, together. I'm drawing on the board, on the chalkboard. This is the play. You got to do this and do that or whatever. And you're like, yeah, we're ready. Then you go out on the field and you do that over and over again. What we covered in the locker room, you do that over and over again, that whole week. Just don't let anything distract you. Just this one thing. If it's collapses from position 2, we're just going to do that the whole week, nothing else. You don't let anything distract you. And you're going to come back having done that over and over again. We're going to review that. Then we took the next thing. All right, surges off the 200, whatever it is. The next thing, we do a deep dive on it. And the very next week, your assignment is just that. I'm not saying you can't do anything else. I'm just saying make that your focus. And if we do this 52 times in a row, Mike, you're going to double your life in 52 weeks. I promise you. You're going to double your life. And just give us that 1 year. Don't worry if you miss a session. It's all recorded. In fact, I'm going to give you all the prior sessions. that have occurred over the years. You're going to get all of that plus every new week, a brand new. We're going to do a deep dive on something, just like we did today. Deep dive on something, boom, that's your assignment for that week. And if we do this, locker room, go out and do it. Locker room, go out and do it. 52 times in a row, 52 weeks. You will not recognize yourself. In 1 year, you're going to be set. And you're going to be prepared for this 23-hour market that's coming in December. This is the way to do it, guys. I am telling you, week by week, day by day. We get the assignment week by week. You do it day by day. Boom, repeat. It's very powerful. This is how it works. We learn it first. Week by week, we take one portion of the trading equation, learn it deeply, get it down for good, then you go out and apply it every single day, until we meet the next week. You're given that assignment for the week. Become familiar with that market. Turn the knowledge into, turn the intellectual knowledge from step 1 into experiential knowledge in step 2, and that's when you can start living it, when it starts to become a part of you. But we meet every single week with this. You're with me every single week. Now, here's what some of my VIP traders are saying. Before I joined the VIP trading club, I couldn't trade and make weekly profits on my retail account. But now I'm making withdrawals because I always teach traders, don't deposit. I've got to turn you into only traders that withdraw. I haven't made a deposit into a trading account since the early 1990s. Don't deposit, guys. I withdraw. I don't want you depositing into an account. You withdraw forever. Other people deposit for you. You don't deposit into an account. You withdraw from the market. Being able to review trades and have homework for the following week has allowed me to see the charts and trades in a new light. The weekly session reinforces what Oliver teaches in bite-sized concepts. This is how the best way to learn. Each session focuses on one particular concept. That's how you learn it. You don't learn it by me throwing a whole bunch of shit on the wall and hoping something sticks. We take it one piece, like a puzzle. We're going to learn this piece of the puzzle, then this piece of the puzzle, then that piece of the puzzle, then that piece of the puzzle, and that piece of the puzzle. And before you know it, whoa, we got the full puzzle. We got the full picture. It's powerful, guys. VIP, week by week, 1 year, you'll double your life. It's crazy. I'm telling you. This is crazy. All right, guys, look, here's the cost. I want you doing it a year. It's $1,000. Guys, it's a family dinner one time with a couple of good bottles of wine. That's it. Double your life, change your life, totally different in a year. Or you're not sure? Do it for 1 month and watch. Monthly subscription, $200. Just try it 1 month. And I promise you, you'll be with me for life. All right? If you know, you got the year, because I really want you, I want us to work on our thing for a year together. But if you're not sure, do the month. And you'll see. Now, I'm going to make this even easier for you. Boom. I'm going to drop the price for you. You can have the whole year with me for less than $800. Guys, if you can't do that, then you have other problems. You have other problems. You shouldn't even be focused on trading. If you can't find that to improve your life in trading, then you've got more serious problems than this. All right? Or $77 to give it a shot, guys? Come on. for an entire month? Let's do this. Let's get ready for this 23-hour trading market. Let's get you 1 year from 1 year is coming, whether you like it or not. Why not just be more masterful when that year comes? More knowledgeable, more skilled. I've got you. We do it together, week by week, every single week without fail. This is the most valuable cost. This is the most valuable, biggest bang for the buck thing that I offer to traders. I try to make it as easy as possible to start this thing, to do this the right way. All right? And guys, if you're interested, make sure that you are only speaking to one of my representatives. If they're not on this slide here, and that's not the number, and that's not the email, you are being taken advantage of. I don't want that happening to you. It's got to be one of these people or nobody. Some people might even pretend to be these people, but everything's got to line up here. You see the languages that they speak. Everything that I do is in 3 languages: English, Spanish, Portuguese. No excuses. All right? 52 weeks, guys. 52 opportunities to become a better trader. This offer closes Sunday. Powerful. Now listen, I wouldn't say we covered a great many things today, but we covered some things, some valuable things. And so whether you join me or not, you have something that you can go into the world with right now and start turning it into something that matters. But I want to say something here to you. You see, intellectual knowledge is not enough. And there are so many people who get trapped by this. They think that understanding intellectually, I get it now, that you can take that into the market and that understanding produces results. That is wrong. If all it took was intellectually understanding, then you could read a book on golf and become a master golfer. Because that's intellectual knowledge on the swing, how to play the game. But if you play golf, if any of you play golf, you know you can't freaking read a book and think you're just going to go out there on the golf course and be good. It takes more than understanding. It takes more than knowing. I'm an expert at teaching you what to know. I'm an expert at transferring that intellectual knowledge. But we've got to combine it and turn that intellectual knowledge into experiential knowledge. That's when it becomes yours. If it's intellectual knowledge, it stays mine. It's still mine. You can't make money from my knowledge, no matter how you try. I don't care how much you understand my tactic. You can't make money from my knowledge. You have to turn it into yours. And the only way to do that is to turn the knowledge that I teach you into experiential knowledge. That's where the 52 weeks comes in. That's where every week you get the knowledge first, and then we turn it into yours through experience. I want you doing it for those days in between our sessions over and over again. Just do it. Make it yours. Turn it into experiential knowledge. Transfer it from me to you through doing. Stay focused on it. Don't get distracted. Just keep hitting that bullseye. That if it's collapses from position 2, just keep doing it. That's your focus this week. Boom. That's how you make it yours. People get this mixed up. They think they can buy, because they have bought knowledge, now the knowledge should start paying. It doesn't work that way. It can only start paying when the knowledge becomes yours. And it can only become yours by grappling with it, by using it. by falling with it, failing with it, succeeding with it, trying it, doing it. That's how it becomes yours. And so we combine these two things in the VIP. You learn, that's the intellectual part. Then you do, that's the experiential part. Put it together. We put 52 of these things together, and at the end, you have it all. The whole shebang. If you think that what I've shared with you today has some value, imagine if you gave me a year with you every week. Wow. Double your life. Most people never double their life. Do this. I want to see you. All right, guys. Thank you very much for attending. Love you guys to death. I hope you can tell that I truly enjoy these I enjoy these sessions. I really do. I'm going to enjoy it more when you join the team. All right, guys. Ciao for now. Boom. Boom. And I'll see you on the other side. VIP, baby. VIP. Ciao. Yeah.